Criminals have a funny way of turning simple plans into complicated disasters, and sometimes their worst decisions are only getting started. More than 70 alleged burglaries, the same black boots, the same mask, the same routine. Smash the glass, grab the cash, disappear. Sounds like a solid plan, until detectives found the tools and stolen property at his apartment. He allegedly smashed the glass door at 2:36 a.m. just to grab a few bottles of alcohol. All that effort just to drink for free. Now the only thing being poured is probably a police report. Two armed suspects allegedly hit a convenience store for the cash, emptying the register before making their escape. Apparently, they thought the cash register was their personal ATM. Watching a huge safe get opened in just minutes with a common power saw is honestly wild. Turns out, even a massive safe isn't as intimidating when someone has the right tool and enough bad intentions. These two allegedly wanted to steal phones from Pianeta Verde, but apparently didn't want to use the entrance like regular customers. A few hammer strikes later, the glass was shattered, and a number of phones and other merchandise were gone. Two burglars allegedly broke into LL Bean for clothes. Nothing says new outfit like a broken window, a midnight getaway, and a potential court date. The Unioro store in Pala reportedly got 4 unwanted visitors overnight. They allegedly smashed the display cases and grabbed phones and other electronics. 4 people, 1 plan, and absolutely no intention of paying. Three masked men allegedly robbed Diamond Galleria at Citrus Park Town Center, entering through a staff entrance and smashing display cases filled with luxury watches. They reportedly took at least $100,000 worth of merchandise. She allegedly emptied the register while customers watched. That's not exactly a low-profile operation. more like a robbery with a live audience. This guy walked around the supermarket with a basket in one hand, while secretly stuffing merchandise into his jacket with the other. Looks like the basket was for shopping, while the jacket was for free merchandise. He had money to buy food, but decided stealing would be better. He stuffed 2 boxes of merchandise into the backpack of the guy who was with him. Looks like the problem wasn't the budget, it was the mindset. These people are wanted for allegedly stealing from a pharmacy at 4127 Lancaster Ave. They skipped the checkout and took the merchandise instead. Looks like their next destination is a future behind bars. She allegedly inspected the jewelry like a regular customer, then quietly hid some pieces in her pants. That's one way to try on jewelry, but definitely not the legal way. He allegedly smashed his way into 3 stores, tried the registers, attacked secured areas, and still couldn't get what he wanted. Apparently, even burglary has a skill requirement. Detectives determined the same suspect allegedly hit multiple businesses, taking an undisclosed amount of cash and merchandise before leaving. Apparently, he was running a no receipt, no payment shopping program. At Uni-Euro in Casino, one alleged thief went in first, grabbed merchandise, and hid it in a blind spot before leaving. Then his partner came in, picked it up, stuffed it under his jacket, and walked out. A 2-man operation with one major flaw: CCTV. He came to RIO with one goal: take the safe and disappear. No drinks, no dancing, just a very questionable financial strategy. These 2 allegedly turned a tire shop into their personal parts department. Apparently, paying for tires was optional, at least in their version of reality. The counter was unattended for only a moment, and this guy allegedly turned that opportunity into a phone theft. He put the phone in his pants and walked away, but apparently forgot about the camera. In Eboli, an armed robber allegedly walked into a betting shop and took the day's cash. Apparently, he wanted to place a bet, but decided to gamble with his freedom instead. The two thieves allegedly smashed the glass door of an eyewear store and took a bunch of glasses. They wanted to see the world through a new lens, but didn't want to pay for them. He allegedly walked into supermarkets armed with a machete and demanded money. Fast cash sounds great, until the next destination becomes a police station. He allegedly turned the fitting room into his own packing area, stuffing items into a backpack before calmly walking out. The confidence is impressive, but the way he shops isn't. Robbing a pharmacy with a machete is one way to make an entrance, but definitely not a smart one. In southern Turin, an alleged robber allegedly walked into a supermarket, threatened the cashier, and emptied the register. A quick score can turn into a long legal headache pretty fast. In South Los Angeles, the thieves allegedly arrived in two vehicles and left with the vehicles loaded with shoes and merchandise. This wasn't shopping. It was an extremely illegal bulk order. The suspect allegedly targeted businesses, smashed the front windows, and then went straight to the cash registers. Looks like breaking in was easier than getting an honest job. Two robbers allegedly walked into the Cray supermarket on Via Pacinotti and simply carried the entire cash register away. Apparently, stealing the money wasn't enough. They wanted the whole checkout counter. In Milan's Ticinese district, a man allegedly walked into a supermarket, pretending to buy beer, then pulled a knife and grabbed €700, from just shopping to robbery in seconds. A €500 robbery allegedly turned into an instant arrest at an Eurospin in Bari. The weapon was reportedly a toy, the cash was recovered, and the getaway partner disappeared. Not exactly a successful business venture. A mother and her son allegedly teamed up for jewelry store thefts in Ragusa. Family teamwork is great, just not when the team project involves crime. Three alleged burglars smashed the displays and grabbed as much merchandise as they could. Breaking glass was easy. Explaining all that stolen property later might be the hard part. At the Marathon gas station on E. Fowler Ave, three suspects allegedly turned an early morning stop into a robbery. Cash, cigarettes, and a getaway. Quite the way to start the day. This guy waited for the mall to close, jumped over the counters at Subway and Little Tokyo, and took the cash himself. Looks like late-night food now comes with a side of criminal charges. Four suspects allegedly went on a burglary spree, targeting local businesses, but the shopping trip ended with handcuffs instead of a getaway. Someone allegedly broke into a business in the 5,000 block of E 51st. No appointment, no permission, just a terrible decision, with consequences waiting around the corner. Multiple businesses allegedly got the same unwanted late-night visitor. Breaking into one place might be a bad decision. Making it a pattern is a whole new level of poor judgment. Five masked suspects allegedly smashed their way into Powell's Pharmacy at 5:29 a.m., ran through the store, and tried to reach the restricted medication area. They failed there, but allegedly escaped with a cash register. A quick grab, an even quicker exit, and now a police search. Apparently, these suspects forgot that stealing merchandise can come with a very expensive consequence: losing your freedom. "2:05 a.m. is apparently when these guys decided to clock in for the worst job imaginable. Walk in armed, demand cash, walk out, zero benefits, terrible career prospects. At 1:29 a.m., Quick Pick Liquors on N. Armenia Avenue in Tampa allegedly got an unwanted late-night visitor. Apparently, the store was open for business, but not for free shopping. This dress seems to have been used for more than just style. The girl allegedly stuffed so much merchandise into her dress that it looked like she was carrying half the store, and then she was caught red-handed. These boys allegedly turned a visit to the Pyaterochka store at 53 Lunacharsky Street in Yekaterinburg into a chocolate theft. Looks like they had a sweet tooth, but ended up with consequences that were anything but sweet. These thieves allegedly didn't use anything remotely discreet. They used a trailer and a winch to pull an ATM out of the bank and fled with the cash. This wasn't simply a bank robbery anymore. It looked more like demolition for criminal purposes. Dad allegedly created the distraction while his son slipped behind the counter and grabbed cash from the register. That's some serious teamwork, but definitely not the kind of family lesson anyone should be teaching. This wasn't exactly a family shopping trip. 3 relatives allegedly worked together during the theft, while the security cameras captured the entire performance. Talk about leaving a family video behind. 2 people went shopping, grabbed a lot of merchandise, and clearly had no intention of paying. They stuffed the merchandise into their clothes and tried to walk out. That's certainly one way to turn a trip to the supermarket into a criminal career. The 2 friends allegedly planned the shirt theft quite carefully. One distracted the employee by asking for size 46 sandals, while the other calmly took the shirt. Sure enough, teamwork sometimes works in all the wrong ways. The girl allegedly handed him a shirt while he took more pairs of jeans and hid them under his jacket. They may have gotten past the cashier, but the security cameras clearly weren't fooled by the act. She slipped a bottle of alcohol into her purse, as if it were the most normal thing in the world. A rushed move, a bad idea, and definitely not the kind of shopping anyone should imitate. In the end, every story proves bad decisions can unravel fast. If you enjoyed the ride, like, comment, subscribe, and share, because consequences rarely need an invitation.